parking lot, and then I got stuck talking to them forever. They're trying to get their agenda and they're recording and they're trying to get for me to be famous.
Because I saw a man and a woman holding some watching the girls, and this is mental health week, and I was being aware. And I went to the cops and said, I see this going on. And here's some more cops.
Can you guys step away from the door so I can access, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hi. So what are you doing here?
What's that?
Why'd they call you?
Unwanted people here.
Unwanted.
Yeah.
So we're unwanted. I'm just letting you know, officer. How are you doing today?
Good.
I'm Katie. I'm with Rebel
Just
News.
so you know, I'm recording. I'll be back in just a second.
That's okay. I just want to let you know that we are here with a petition because Julie Jaman has been swimming here for so long.
I understand.
We want Julie to swim again. So 10,000 people signed the petition. Can you hand us this? Sign this petition.
No, they don't want your activity
to get Julie
there.
swimming again.
Thank you. Please don't let her anymore.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
This is the
Thank you.
official
Can you
man.
get out of the doorway, please? Thank you. I'll be right back.
Well, as I said, I'm a regular swimmer, and I finished my swim and went to take a shower, and I heard a man's voice.
Is there specifically somebody that is violating your?
Sex and feels like he's a woman.
Hi,
And,
guys.
I went over to
all
the
three.
cops.
Sorry to interrupt.
Sure, come on.
All three of you are being asked to leave the property right now. If you don't leave, we're going to issue you a warning, basically, that says you're violating the policies,
Of what?
disrupting customers trying to use the pool.
How are we disrupting?
So you'll be asked to leave, and if you don't leave, you'll be subject to arrest for
So
trespassing.
this is
Subject to
Mountain
arrest.
View-
Correct.
Mountain View Pool property you're talking about.
This is the city of Port Townsend's property.
Right, Mountain View Pool.
Mountain View subleases it. That's correct.
So
No, Mountain View doesn't. The city subleases it from the
To-
school district.
And then they sublease it further.
No, they have a subcontract with the
Or
Y.
contract with them, or
Yeah,
whatever, yeah.
Come on.
Bottom line, it doesn't matter. We're gonna issue admonishment, basically, that you're not permitted to be here.
why?
If you don't
What
leave.
was their reason?
That you're disrupting the other customers trying to
How?
come to use the pool.
But how? What? On what
What are you
grounds?
observing?
Because
I'll write it down for you and put it in the admonishment that we
okay,
issue you.
because all we did was walk up, go to the door, and we weren't allowed to go in, and that's all that happened. There's no disruption of anyone.
Customers just coming in, I'm listening to them complaining that they're getting sick and tired of this and that they can't even come to use the pool and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're upset.
So we're
with
gonna
it.
rely on what the customers are saying.
Okay.
And what
It's
the
pretty
pool is
interesting.
telling
So
us, the
how-
pool staff.
The pool staff. Okay,
Yeah.
so the pool staff. I want to know from you.
And just so you
are
know,
there-
I'm recording everything. Just
I don't care. So are we.
Yes, I just have to tell you.
Oh, that's okay.
Washington law.
We hope
That's
so.
Yeah.
fine. I hope you would.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't understand why Julie is even banned in the first place. Because
I'm not
what-
even gonna get onto the root cause of it.
Right.
I'm just gonna tell you the immediate right
Great,
now.
and I want to talk to you
So-
because if she actually witnessed a trans person, what she says, a man watch little girls undress. If she actually witnessed that in a normal society, that is a criminal act.
So that's been investigated or under investigation, to my
Oh,
knowledge.
I don't think it is.
So-
There's no
Right,
investigation
and-
going on
And
whatsoever.
Okay.
right, and before the
Wasn't there an initial
investigation-
call about this that got handled by
I came into
officers?
your office, and I had a call from Mark Titterness, who
Okay.
wrote a bit of a report. There was no, as I know it, no investigation as to whether that incident actually happened, that there was a man standing there in a woman's suit watching little girls. I don't know how the police could capture that. There's no cameras supposedly,
Sure.
but you don't really know what goes on in that dressing room.
Sure, I understand.
So I could only report. Now, I'm a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of years under my belt. I am an upstanding citizen, and I do not lie. However, I'm finding that there are young people employed here, particularly one individual in management who is perfectly willing to lie. So when you say it was investigated, I haven't been informed of any investigation.
Well, they might not inform you of it. They might just, since
But I
there was a call
reported
for
it.
service regarding that, they may have investigated it, determined that it doesn't meet a violation of criminal law or something like that. And then that would be it, and you may or may not hear from the officer regarding the status of that unless you specifically request that. So I'm just letting you know how it might have played out. I don't know for sure. I'd have to look it up.
All right, so can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So when you arrest a trans individual, how do you determine where they get placed in jail?
We don't. That's up to the jail.
That's
We're
up to the jail?
Separate entity.
Separate entity, so we would have to.
Actually, last night, Art Frank, who was running for sheriff, said at a public meeting that they actually separate people with synthetic sex identities into a different place other than women and men because they do it for safety, which is the same reason we need to have it here, for safety. But somehow the Y does not interpret it the same way as the sheriff does.
This isn't the avenue though here.
Say it again.
This is not the avenue to fix any issues that you're having with the Y. I think you need to direct those with the Y and not specifically with their employees at the door. I think
on.
management of the Y is the people you need
Right,
to
and
be
that's why,
directing
well,
that
we
to.
came to just drop the petition off. And I think that a front desk person could easily handle it or hand it off to management.
I
Is that,
would send it by mail to national headquarters for the YMCA.
Oh,
That's
the-
what I would recommend.
You think the National's involved with this too?
Well, they're overreaching to the local level, aren't they?
Well,
If they're
it's
putting
hard
their
to know.
Y on the door, I would just
They
think
do
that
have,
that's.
the Y has a policy, it's called the Rule of Three, that there have to be 2 adults when they bring children into a
Again, it
common area.
does, their policies mean nothing to me.
Well,
I'm
at every rate-
specifically interested in violations of criminal law, so that's all I'm doing right now is just.
I was
okay,
going to
so
responding to
say,
criminal
that
law.
incident.
So if a
So we can
trans
talk
person,
more over at the police department if you like.
if a trans person, one more thing, just really
Let's
quick.
get out of their front door.
If a trans person
Yeah?
goes into, okay, so these policies with the trans people in the restrooms,
Yeah.
does it not open the door for criminal activity? Because anyone these days can say that they are trans.
You won't hear an opinion on that from me.
But no, okay, so does it not open the door?
Again, you won't hear an opinion from me on that.
How are women supposed to feel safe? How are we supposed to have our boundaries be protected?
Do what you need to do to feel safe.
What
I
do you
can't
mean?
guarantee your safety. As a police department, we're
what
responsible
if
for
I see a man in
protecting.
my room and I report it to you? I guess this doesn't feel safe to me. Like I can't tell the difference between a man who claims he's trans, a man in a dress, a man pretending to be trans, a man wearing a dress in order to violate my boundaries. If I see a man, I see a man. I don't know if you wear a dress sometimes. You look like a man to me. I see what it's in front of me, and I say what I see, and then we bring it to the police, and then nothing happens. I'm a survivor of rape.
I understand.
I don't feel safe with these
I
policies.
want you to feel safe, but I can't do much with regards to the legislation of the state. So if you have a problem with the way the laws have been changed to allow for this type of stuff, I recommend you talk to your state legislatures.
I do.
Yeah.
But it's very frustrating because this is my hometown.
Yeah.
You're meant to
It's-
keep me safe in my hometown.
just-
I'm meant to feel safe to go to places in my hometown.
The laws of the state of Washington will affect your hometown regardless if you like them or not.
but you do respond to child abuse reports.
Absolutely.
I mean, child
Absolutely.
abuse is, I worked in this,
How are
in this
kids
town
supposed to
for
be safe?
years.
Couldn't tell you. I can't answer these
So
questions
what-
for you.
So in your position, you realize what you're telling us is, even though you're here for the safety of the community, inside a public accommodation, restroom, shower room, dressing area, you have no purview. Nobody does.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
How do you keep it safe in there?
I'm saying we have no purview over saying a trans person can't be in
But
there.
how do you
No, no,
decide
no,
who is a trans? I don't understand.
as somebody with
what's,
a camera
what's the difference?
on-
Anyone who says they are?
Apparently.
I'm trans now.
All right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is material reality.
Wait, the little girls in there were being subjected to a type of voyeurism.
He was touching them, and he says it on camera. He says it in his interview. Sorry. It's very upsetting.
So,
Well, it's clear to me that you're more concerned about the media coverage and that kind of thing.
I'm concerned about telling this story because this is happening all over.
Right,
This is my activism. I'm in contact with hundreds and hundreds of women who have had this happen to them.
Sure.
This is not about, this media is telling this story. Who else is going to tell this story if I don't tell this story? Who else is telling this story?
So I'm just saying that normally when
You're
somebody
trying to
comes to
silence
file
us from telling this story.
I'm not silencing you from anything. You're clearly able to record and say your piece. What I'm saying is this is not how we would normally receive a report of child abuse. This is obviously something that's been going on for weeks now, right?
how do you usually receive reports of child abuse?
Well, a victim will come in and disclose that they've been abused.
So it takes it would have
going
taken
to
the
a
little
counselor
girls to come.
or
But
something like that and
girls are
disclosing
too
to
young
somebody
to
else,
consent.
to a
They're
teacher,
too young to consent to a
parent.
man touching them. They are below the age of consent. They can't consent to that. Even if they don't come and complain to you, that's already abuse.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to prove sexual gratification in that specific instance.
But why was he with them when they were naked?
Is it easier to prove synthetic sex than it is child abuse?
I'm not sure what you're referring to with synthetic
When
sex.
people say they feel like another sex other than what as they were born, and in this instance, this man presented as a man in a women's suit, is it easier for you to protect him than it is for you to protect the little girls?
I don't think so.
If he didn't pretend he was a different identity, would he have been kicked out? If he wasn't pretending that he was a woman, would he have been kicked out?
Boy, I don't know the answer to that.
If they had called, if the guy called and said
It
there's
depends
a
on the
man,
situation and what was going on.
if there's a man
So
in the
men are
women's
just
shower room.
able to enter any women's space that they choose.
Depends on each individual situation.
Wow.
Is that the way you guys are trained in there? Is that how you're currently? Well, it just depends on the situation whether or not we create.
So we have to evaluate it given what the law says. So.
The law says a man can be in the women's shower if he feels like he's a woman.
That's the way it seems these days, yes. That's
But if little girls are in there being watched
from the
by that
direction of the
person,
state legislature.
then you have to take it a little differently. Maybe the little girls are in danger, maybe they're not, but since you can't see it, and a staff person that says, really, it's the old lady that is making this up, and she's really abusing this man that is watching these little girls, then you're obligated, from your observation, to protect the Y and this man.
We'll investigate whatever's reported. If we can determine probable cause for a crime that's been committed, then we will act on that.
It's just a safeguarding failure.
but
It's a
we
major
can't
safeguarding
do
red
anything
flag.
if we don't
It's
have
a
that.
safeguarding failure. You can't keep those girls safe if any man can come in at any time. It's a safeguarding failure for every woman and girl who goes in
I
there.
really think your avenue should be the state.
It is. I'm at the state, I'm in the national, I'm in the local.
Yeah, I mean-
I'm talking everywhere that I can.
Because I don't have the ability to change what the laws are.
No,
On
but
behalf
we're
of the
understanding
state,
your
so.
effort at keeping people safe.
But you can put provisions in place for sex-based rights. You can put provisions in place that keep women and girls able to have opportunities for single-sex spaces.
I cannot do that.
Actually, when you go
I can
to
enforce what the law says.
when you have a weekly meeting together, all of you, with your chief and so on, don't you?
No.
You do gather together sometimes, right?
Generally about 4 times a year we have a meeting. Once a quarter.
It seems to me maybe that is the point, since you've run into this and you're hearing a lot of sides here. It seems to me that is the time you can take to the table. This is turning into a serious problem. There's a lot of confusion. There's mixing up. There's not clear signage. There's potential for little kids. You can say these things at this table, and that does influence how legislators eventually get legislation.
All right, I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to grab the paperwork I said I was going to give to you if you want.
Okay.
I'm not detaining you guys, so you're welcome to leave if you want. But
We're not detaining
if you're
you.
still here,
What would
I'm gonna-
happen if
I'm
we
going to get
didn't
that
leave?
paperwork and I'll be back if you want to talk more. Be right back. So what this is just basically a written warning.
Oh, you were issuing a warning. You didn't tell us that right there. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were about to leave. But you said, come talk over here. Did you entrap us?
No,
You
not
didn't
at
tell
all.
us to leave here. You
No, I
said,
said
let's
you're-
go over here and talk.
Absolutely, and we talked, and then I said, I'll be right back. You're welcome to leave if you wish. I'm going to go get that paperwork. That's
A
what I
form.
said.
You were going to show us a form.
Correct. It's basically a form that advises you can't be on YMCA property for a period of 7 days or you're subject to arrest for trespass.
Yeah, but you didn't say that was like an official warning to us. I thought you were getting a form so we could see what kind of things the police use to do these things.
No,
Yeah.
this is absolutely
Because
not.
I go and collect forms like this. I went to the Dove House to get forms. I've gone to the library to get forms. And you said you had a form. I collect these forms to see what's on them.
Well, you're welcome to it if you want.
It's
want me
just
to-
an empty form,
This
right?
one's an empty one. It's got your name
That's
on it.
all I
but-
wanted.
Yeah.
I would have
Show us
long
the
left
form.
if I'd known that you were still on, because you invited us to come over here. I was
Correct.
ready
Out
to-
from the Y, yeah.
Because you didn't want to stand there, and I got that.
They didn't want you down there.
Right.
I don't care if you're
No,
down
but
there or not.
anyway,
Yeah.
you did what you asked.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. If I thought it was still on, I would have been gone.
All right. Just so you're aware,
Oh.
there's no need for us to issue forms. We can still place people under arrest for trespass without having given them a form because we've told them
Am I trespassing?
they're not welcome to be here. Not at all. You're free to stand here all you like.
Okay, thank you.
Where they don't want you is on the YMCA's
At the entrance there.
control and
I
they're
got
right
it,
in
I
their
got it.
entryway.
Because they sent me something several weeks ago about that, so I
Gotcha.
haven't gone in there. I've been-
Gotcha. Anyway, you're welcome to the form. I won't officially issue it to
Okay.
any of you if you're leaving. So
Is
Yeah.
my name on one?
I was going to ask you your name to fill out one for you as well.
Oh, no, I don't need one because
Would you like a
one,
blank
I'm
form?
media and freedom of speech.
I understand,
applies.
but people
Media,
still have.
freedom of press and freedom
Correct.
of speech.
Correct.
And it's bizarre because these signs, have you noticed these signs that went up? No media allowed. Is that wild? Is that not wild? Because
Yeah,
that was not there after my report, our Rebel News report went out.
yeah.
And then after that report went out, they have all these signs.
Huh.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Very.
This is the Young Men's Christian Association. You're
Is
not
that what
old
that
en-
stands
yes,
for? Yeah.
YMCA.
Gotcha.
You're not quite old enough to understand this, but the Y was formed over 100 years ago. And it was formed, I believe, in New York, but it went all over the world. And the reason it formed as YMCA was for indigenous workers and people who were moving about to have safe place to sleep and to get food and to help them out showers. And eventually a YWCA was formed, Young Women's Christian Association, and it provided the same thing for women. And if you've been to Seattle, you know there's a huge old building, YMCA, the big pool in there, and it's got residences upstairs. It's a place where people for years and knew they could go and they could afford to have a bed for the night and get a shower.
Yeah.
That's what it was for. And now it's something else. Big money. Big money.
Gotcha.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, what's your name?
I'm Jason.
Oh, you're Jason.
Yeah.
How's your mom doing?
She's doing good.
Is she still in town?
She is. All retired now.
Of course she.
Yeah.
But you know, after she left the bank, you know, that was a co-op, really. I shouldn't call it
Yes.
the bank.
Yes.
But if that was it, and
It's changed. It's not the same.
listen to you, you're
Yeah.
so politic. You're so smooth, Jason. Just like her. She was very swell. And you've sort of got the same.
I've been here 27 years. I see things. I know
I
how
bet you
things
see
are.
things.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have opinions, but not while I wear this uniform.
If you see her,
Thank
will you
you.
tell her, Jason, tell your mom, Julie, the old lady, said hi.
I will. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. Yeah. See you later. Here and walked them out front in the parking lot, and then I got stuck talking to them forever. They're trying to get their agenda and they're recording and they're trying to get for me to be famous. I'm sitting there talking to them for a little while, and then I let them know that they're disrupting.
Went over to
All
the-
three, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
All three of you are being asked to leave the property right now.
From maybe the staff room around in her red t-shirt, and I said, get that man out of here. And she said, without skipping a beat, that's discrimination. You're out of the pool forever, and I've called the cops.
Jaman, she is an 80-year-old woman who was permanently banned from the YMCA swimming pool after speaking out against.
They're going too far. That is, they have failed to provide good staff training for this very sensitive cultural issue. They failed to provide an alternative space, which the law calls for. So there's no choice in here.
Wow.
They have failed to inform patrons and parents, and all round, along with these made-up stories, there's a major breakdown going on.
So we decided to create a petition called Let Her Swim, and that reached over 10,000 signatures. It was such an amazing feat. When we got there, they had locked us out, and they ended up calling the police, and one cop that came threatened us with a trespass order. So take a look at that.
Then I went over to
All
the-
three, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
All three of you are being asked to leave the property right now. If you don't leave, we're going to issue you a warning, basically, that says you're violating the policies,
Of what?
disrupting customers trying to use the pool.
How are we disrupting?
So you'll be asked to leave, and if you don't leave, you'll be subject to arrest for
So
trespassing.
this is
Subject to
Mountain
arrest.
View-
Correct.
How'd you-
So what this is just basically a written warning.
Oh, you were issuing a warning. You didn't tell us that right there.
Yeah.
Because we were about to leave. But you said, come talk over here. Did you entrap us?
No,
You
not
didn't
at
tell
all.
us to leave here. You
No, I
said,
said
let's
you're-
go over here and talk.
Absolutely, and we talked, and then I said, I'll be right back. You're welcome to leave if you wish. I'm going to go get that paperwork. That's
A
what I
form,
said.
you were gonna show us a form.
Correct. It's basically a form that advises you can't be on YMCA property for a period of 7 days or you're subject to arrest for trespass.
Now, I chose this